Hey, it's Jay. Welcome back to Breath of the Wild. We're going to continue going through the Hyrule Compendium. There's a lot of stuff in the equipment tab, but they also have like pretty short descriptors as far as I remember. So hopefully this will take about an hour. Like this one. But we still have the weapons and the equipment and the treasure to go through. The Master Sword, legendary sword that seals the darkness. Its blade gleams with a sacred luster that can oppose the great calamity. Only a hero chosen by the sword itself may wield it. Weird that they don't mention like the attack up against guardians or the fully awakened in properties, but okay. Tree branch. Wooden branches such as these are pretty common, but it's surprisingly well balanced. It doesn't do much damage, but can serve as a weapon in a pinch. Torch. This torch will stay lit once ignited, but if you put it away, the flame will be extinguished until you light it again. Soup plate. Apparently the trick with the torch actually is if you throw it on the ground, it stays lit on fire. And so if you need to talk to an NPC or climb something, you can just throw the torch. Soup ladle. A kitchen implement often used for serving delicious soups. It was carved from the wood of a sturdy tree, so it actually packs quite the wallop. Boomerang. This throwing weapon was originally used by the forest-dwelling Koroks. Its neat shape allows it to return after being thrown. Koroks they do have the forest-dweller spears and whatnot, but it's weird picturing the Koroks fighting. Spring-loaded hammer. This strange hammer is one of Kilton's specialities. Being struck by it doesn't hurt much, but the fourth swing in a string of attacks will send the victim flying. Traveler's sword. A very common sword that often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. Soldier's broadsword. A sword brandished by soldiers who once protected Hyrule Castle. Its durable blade is well tuned for slaying monsters. Knight's broadsword. Knights of Hyrule Castle once carried this sword, but these days it's a weapon of choice for seasoned adventurers thanks to its ease of use and high attack power. Royal broadsword. The Hylian royal family would reward this sword to knights who achieved remarkable feats. A sword that balances strength and beauty as elegantly as this one is a rare find. Forest Dweller sword. Koroks made the sword for Hylians. It's made of wood, so it isn't the best choice for head-on attacks. Its original intent was likely clearing vines to forge paths through the forest. Zora sword. The ornamentation that adorns this blade is a traditional Zora design. It's forged from very durable and rust-proof metal. Feathered edge. Not a very good picture, I'm sorry about that. Rito craftsmen forged this lightweight, double-edged sword so Rito warriors could soar into battle unhindered by its weight. Gerudo scimitar. This common sword is often carried by Gerudo women for self-defense. Its short curved blade is easily recognized. Moonlight scimitar. Delicate Gerudo carvings decorate this curved sword. The engraved blade is extremely sharp. Apparently, it once served ceremonial purposes in festivals. Oh, so once again, a ceremony weapon to make the champion weapon. Or just to think. Scimitar of the Seven. A famous sword once beloved by the Gerudo champion Urbosa. It's said that when Urbosa swung the sword in battle, her movements resembled a beautiful dance. Eightfold blade. A single-edged sword traditional to the Sheikah tribe. Forged using ancient technology, it's said to be among the sharpest conventional weapons ever made. You need ancient technology to make the blade folds? Okay, sure. Ancient short sword. The blade of this sword was made using an ancient power lost to the modern age. Its blade appears only when drawn, and its cutting power surpasses metal swords. Rusty broadsword. This once fearsome sword has seen better days. It can do some damage in the right hands, but also breaks quickly. Royal Guard sword. A Sheikah-made replica of the sword that seals the darkness. It was made with ancient technology to oppose the Great Calamity, but its low durability made it inefficient. Flame blade. This magical sword was forged in the lava of Death Mountain. It leaves white-hot flames at its wake when the blade glows red. Frost blade. A magical sword forged in the frigid mountains of the Heber region. When the blade glows blue, enemies struck it will become frozen. Thunderblade. A magical sword forged and refined by lightning from the Hyrule Hills. Forged and refined by lightning in the Hyrule Hills. I wonder how you managed that one. When the blade shines the golden light, it will electrocute enemies struck by it. Golden light? I'd call that green, but okay. The great swords aren't with the regular elemental swords? Okay. Vocal club. A crude bokoblin club made to clobber small prey. It's essentially a stick, so its durability is low. Spike Bilbo Club, a reinforced bokoblin club made to maximize damage. The sharpened bones jabbed into it make it a brutal weapon. Dragonbone Buckle Club. This bokoblin club has been reinforced with fossilized bones to maximize clobbering potential. Only the brawniest of bokoblins can manage its immense weight. Lizzle Boomerang. A curved sword favored by the Lizalfos. It can be used to attack directly or can be thrown like a boomerang. Forked Lizzle Boomerang. Blue Lizalfos in particular like this weapon. It has one more blade than the Lizzle Boomerang to give it additional cutting power, and it still returns when thrown. Lizzle Tri-Boomerang. More blades means more attack power. It can be used as a boomerang, but all those blades make that a bit more dangerous. Carried by black Lizalfos seasoned in battle. It should not be able to fly. That should be impossible. But I love it. Might be my favorite weapon. Thunder blades are also great, but try boomerang, you can't go wrong. Guardian Sword. Now see, I would have put the Ancient Sword with all the Guardian Swords as like beyond the plus. Guardian Sword. A sword often wielded by Guardian Scouts. Its blue energy blade is a product of ancient technology. It's not very durable. Guardian Sword Plus. This Guardian Sword has enhanced power over the standard model. Its cutting capabilities are improved, and its durability has seen a slight uptick. Guardian Sword Plus. The abilities of these Guardian Swords have been bolstered to the maximum, as evidenced by its increase in size. It slices through armor like a hot knife through butter. Lionel Sword. Next to its corpse. This Lionel-made sword was designed with smashing in mind rather than slicing. It's on the heavy side compared to what Highlands are used to, but it's very strong. Mighty Lionel Sword. This Lionel-made sword... Oh, can you break rocks with it then if it's smashing instead of slashing? Mighty Lionel Sword. This Lionel-made sword boasts more blades and more attack power. A skilled Lionel can draw this sword simply in passing and still cut... Can draw this sword simply in passing and still cut a foe in two. So cut them while drawing the sword, is that what that means? Well, we could draw the sword while running by and cut them, is that what that's trying to say? I think that's what it's trying to say. Savage Lionel Sword. A brutal sword carried by white-haired Lionels. The savage blades are strong enough to cut down any foe, no matter how strong. Fire Rod. A magical rod that can cast fireballs. Said to have been crafted by an ancient magician. The rod will break if it strikes something directly, so use it wisely. Meteor Rod. See, the improved rods are next to the basic rods. Where are the improved swords next to the basic swords? Meteor Rod. A magical rod that can cast 3 fireballs at once. Crafted by an ancient magician. It will break upon running out of magical energy, so make it last. Ice Rod. Magical rod crafted by refined ice found in the Heber Mountains. The rod can cast waves of freezing air. Great for magic, not so great for melee. Blizzard Rod. A magical rod that can cast extreme cold in a wide range. These are crafted from refined ice found at the summit of Heber Peak. It will break when depleted. Lightning Rod. A magical rod that can shoot balls of electricity. Its gem contains lightning from the Hyrule Hills. It's not recommended to use as a melee weapon. Thunderstorm Rod. I think I actually found this one before the basic lightning rod. A magical rod that can hold 3 balls of electricity at once. Its gem contains electricity from the Hyrule Hills, and the rod will break when that electricity runs out. Fish's Sickle. A grim weapon favored by the Yiga. The half-moon shape of the blade allows for the rapid delivery of fatal wounds and serves as a symbol of their terror. Its durability is low. Demon Carver. This lethal weapon is forged by the Yiga. Its unique shape facilitates the sound dispatching. Its unique shape facilitates the sound dispatching of any target and strikes fear into the hearts of all that see it. In my head, these were the same weapon for some reason. I pictured like the spikes of this one on the sickle, but no, they are separate things. I remember now. Wind Carver isn't here? Okay. One-hit Obliterator. A weapon that defeats foes with 1 hit and causes the user to die from 1 hit. It loses its sheen and power after 2 consecutive uses, but will eventually regain both. Wait. Loses its sheen and power. When the Obliterator runs out, can you heal back up? And then it will just re-kill you back to half a heart. Or quarter heart. When it gets its charge back. Is that how it works? I never tested that. But okay. Bokoblin Arm. A skeletal arm that keeps moving even after it's severed from its body. It's kind of gross to strap it on your back, but it'll do in a pinch. It's old and fragile, so it's quick to break. Lizalfos Arm. The arm of the Lizalfos that continues to struggle even in death. It can be used as a weapon, but it's very brittle. You can feel it wriggling when you strap it on your back. Not the Moblin Arm, though. That's weird. Korok Leaf. A single a swing of this giant sturdy leaf can create a gust of wind strong enough to blow away light objects. These will sometimes fall off trees when they're chopped down. Apparently these do have a durability. I'm not sure if you have to hit things to run it down, but they do have a durability. Ugh. Farming hoe. A farming tool primarily used for tilling fields. Its fine craftsmanship is sturdy enough to withstand backbreaking field work, but its battle applications are untested. Boat oar. Made for now, see, I would have put some of these tools by like the wooden ladle and the torch and whatnot. Boat oar. Made for paddling boats, but it was made sturdy enough to fight strong currents. Maybe it's useful for self-defense in a pinch. But can you use that with a raft? I assume you can. Woodcutter's axe. A woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow, inefficient weapon. It's formidable weight and uneven balancing. That's like good thing, bad thing. You should have said unbearable weight or intense weight. That would have been better for like making it clear that it's slow and inefficient. But okay. Double axe. This double-sided axe was designed with fighting in mind. It's a bit unwieldy, so it requires a well-practiced technique to use efficiently. Iron sledgehammer. Love ya. Love it. My man right here. This large iron sledgehammer was originally used for mining, but it works reasonably well as a weapon too. Giant boomerang. This massive boomerang requires two hands. Originally used for hunting, it was modified for use as a weapon. The blades and the inner curves make it a bit tricky to wield. Traveler's claymore. A basic two-handed sword, often wielded by aspiring adventurers. Its immense weight can knock enemies' shields right out of their hands. Maybe that's why I love the claymore so much. Like, two swings and you ragdoll them, which is like, sometimes it's hard to get those two swings in, but I love it. Soldier's claymore. A two-handed sword designed for combat. It's heavy and hard to use, but has decent build quality and durability. Knight's claymore. One of the most only the most confident of Hyrule's knights carried this two-handed sword. Its cutting edge is finely honed. Royal claymore. A two-handed sword issued to the Hylian royal family immediate guard detail. Its powerful strikes are said to crush an opponent's body and resolve alike. Interesting that sometimes, or actually no, maybe it always has been. Okay, yeah. I think knights is supposed to be before the royal, but I feel like at one point we had a royal before a knight. I don't remember where that was, though. It was one of the swords. It might have been like a short sword, broadsword, something like that. Yeah, because these are claymores, not broadswords, yeah. So I'm just in it. Silver longsword. Although the Zork prefer spears to swords, they made this two-handed weapon using a special metal. It's found popularity among Hylians for its unique design. Cobble crusher. A Goron-made two-handed weapon. It's made from thick, hard metal and has no cutting edge, so it relies on sheer weight to crush all opponents. I assumed it was stone, but I guess... I thought it was stone with like metal on the crushing end, but maybe it is all metal and it's just two different kinds of metal. Okay. Stone Smasher, a two-handed weapon forged from a rare metal mined in Goron City. Its center of gravity is at its tip, so it uses centrifugal force and sheer weight to smash opponents flat. Boulder Breaker. This two-handed weapon was once wielded by the Goron champion Daruk. Daruk made swinging it around look easily, but a Hylian would need an immense amount of strength. I wonder if that consumes stamina just for one use. That would be kind of cool, because it's 60 damage. It's like the highest damage of any of the champion weapons. Like, even on Awakened Master Sword is 60 damage. So, like, if it used your stamina just for basic swings, I think that would be fair. Royal Golden Claymore. Only the most talented Gerudo sword fighters carry this two-handed sword. It's actually much lighter than it appears, and is surprisingly easy to wield. Eightfold Longblade. A single-edged sword seldom seen in Hyrule. This weapon is passed down through the Sheikah tribe and has an astonishingly sharp edge, ideal for slicing. Edge of Duality. A curious double-edged sword crafted using Sheikah technology. It was originally made for Hylian knights and familiar with single-edged blades. I don't know how much I actually use the Edge of Duality, but it was the first, like, good weapon I found of, like, high damage. It's a slow attacker, but high damage. I'm pretty sure I got it in that one shrine where you have to, like, fight, like, a few different, like, ways with guardians and use stasis and, like, you shoot the fire and it burns the leaves for, like, one thing to fall down. There's I think it's like something used to like hammer open a door. One of those shrines, I think it was. That might have been the one that was right outside of where you meet Sidon that I marked on the map. But yeah, Edge of Duality, love it. Cool blade. And I assume the duality is Good attack, slow attack, I think. Um, Ancient blade saw. This two-handed sword was forged using ancient secret technology. Its unique rotating blades give it impressive cutting power that will slice enemies into shreds. Rusty claymore. A two-handed sword not properly cared for. Although it can be used as a weapon, its durability is very low. Don't expect it to last for more than a few strikes. Royal Guards claymore. The Sheikah used this very essence of ancient technology to forge this greatsword. It was designed to oppose the calamity, but its low durability made it impractical in battle. Great flame blade. I'm assuming these are here because they're counted as claymores, but I still would have liked them to be by the other elementals. Great flame blade. The magic-infused greatsword was forged in the fires of Death Mountain by Goron Smiths in an ancient age. Attack when the blade glows red to expel the flames. Great Frostblade. This magic-infused greatsword was forged by smelting ore found in Hebron Mountain's permafrost. Attacking when the blade glows blue to expel freezing air. Great Thunderblade. This magical-infused greatsword was forged by the Highland royal family and using lightning from the Highland Hills. Attack when the blade glows golden to expel lightning. Okay, hold on. Okay. So, I remember the first time we actually properly did Hyrule Castle and we're going the hunt for the Royal Guard armor and whatnot. I used this against the moblins in there, and I thought it was super effective. Well, of course, now that I know about the game's functionalities, I know why it felt so effective against those moblins. It's because when you freeze something, you when you attack them to unfreeze them, you do ×3 damage. It's better than a critical hit. Attacking that way. So actually, the way I should have been fighting those moblins when I was taking on Hyrule Castle is I should have used the Great Frostblade to freeze them, and then used my Edge of Duality, because I think I still had that on me at that point, to then shatter them, and that would have been even better damage. But I didn't do that. So oops. Bokobat, a clunky club made by a bokoblin. If you swing it at an enemy's shield, it may be able to knock the shield out of your foe's hand. The Spiked Bokobat. After much consideration by bokoblins on how to improve the Bokobat, they simply attach sharp spikes to it. A skilled fighter can cause immense damage with this. Dragonbone Bokobat. Used by only the toughest bokoblin warriors. This Bokobat has been fortified by fossilized bone. It boasts a high durability and is strong enough to beat down powerful foes. Moblin Club. I wonder if they're getting the dragon bones from the Leviathan bones and the dragon bone mire and shit like that. Because you at least with the Elden Leviathan, and then with the dragon bone mire too, you do find camps of enemies nearby the dragon bones remains. So I wonder if that's where they're getting these. Moblin Club. A crudely fashioned club favored by moblins. It's carved from a sturdy tree, but is sloppily made, so it breaks easy. Spiked Moblin Club. Animal bone has been affixed to this Moblin Club to greatly improve its damage. Animal bone, not dragon bone. I think that's because it looks a bit, not really. It kind of looks like a spinal cord, but they're not severed correctly for it to be a spinal cord. It's all one piece. I guess some things have fused spines, but I don't know of anything that has a fused spine like that. Because look, it goes out like a vertebrae does to the side, and it's got the point in the back like a vertebrae does, but there's not the actual slits for the vertebrae to slide amongst each other and provide the mobility of the spine. So the good support, but not a good back if that's your spine. Dragon Bone Moblin Club. Actually, wait. Were these just regular bones too? No, just sharp spikes. Okay, so yeah, okay, never mind. I'm being silly. Dragon Bone Moblin Club. The bone of an ancient beast has been affixed to this Moblin's club, further increasing its damage. Moblins carrying these in battle are particularly dangerous. Ancient Battle Axe. A weapon used by Guardian Scouts. Its unique blade is forged using ancient technology. Although powerful, its unusual shape causes it to break easily. Ancient Battle Axe Plus. This ancient battle axe's damage has been increased to maximum. It's sharp enough to cut through almost anything, so it may have been used to forge new routes. Ancient Battle Axe Plus Plus. This ancient battle axe's damage output has been scaled to peak performance. Ancient technology makes it possible to enhance cutting power beyond the metal weapons it limits. Beyond metal weapons, so it's not this metal weapon, just any metal weapon. Lionel Crusher. Nice. This two-handed weapon is favored by the Lionels. It may be more accurate to call it a lump of metal than a weapon, but if wielded by a Lionel, it can pound you into a fine dust. Mighty Lionel Crusher. This Lionel-made two-handed weapon has been reinforced to increase its durability and striking power. Its overwhelming heft will crush your foe, shield and all. Savage Metal Crusher. This Lionel-made two-handed weapon is immensely heavy thanks to its rare metal from Death Mountain's peak. The power of its downward swing is in a class all of its own. I must have only got attack up when I got these guys, because like the first one I think was 99 and the second one was 108, which is like the highest damage I've seen in this game so far. It's crazy seeing damage like peak 100. But kind of cool. I only really ever used it to like kill Lionels though on their backs, so I'm not really sure how effective it actually is in battle. Wind Cleaver, all the way down here, the Wind Cleaver. This sword is favored by high-ranking members of the Yiga. When wielded by a proficient fighter, its unique shape cleaves the very wind and creates a vacuum. Moblin Arm. And why? A Moblin bone that continues to move even after being detached by its body. The bone is thick enough to be used as a weapon, but is extremely brittle and easily broken. I'm pretty sure these are like organized by like how you use them to attack, rather than like the faction that uses them or like the actual specific item that it is. Because like axes and clubs are like functionally the same. They're like the two-handed weapons that take like the long like swing up. But like the clubs do more crushing damage, the axes do more slicing damage. So I would have like cut these ancient axes and put them by like the double-bladed axe. And so then the Dragon Bone Club, the Moblin Club, the Bokoblin Clubs would then lead to the Moblin Clubs, and the Moblin Clubs would lead to the Lionel Crushers, which are basically clubs. But like these are here because at least I'm pretty sure these are both two-handed, but they would have made more sense to like put like the start of the two-handed, so this is closer to the sword and this is closer to the Moblin Arms. The Bokoblin Arms, I don't know. Wooden Mop. Just a mop to the untrained eye. It excels at tidying up the place, but it owes its sturdy construction to a true craftsman, so it actually has some combat merit. Farmer's Pitchfork. A farming tool used to collect hay efficiently. It's light enough to be used by anyone. The four prongs are very sharp. Fishing Harpoon. A fisherman's tool that excels in catching large fish. Its particularly sharp spearhead makes it valuable as a weapon as well. Throwing Spear. A specialized spear weighted to excel as a throwing weapon. It's perfectly balanced to be thrown farther than your average spear, able to pierce targets from a great distance. Traveler's Spear. A spear used mainly by travelers to fend off wolves and other beasts. It's easy to hold and simple to use. Soldier's Spear. A long spear once used by the guards of Hyrule Castle. Easy to use but difficult to master. The iron tip is very sturdy, and the shaft will not burn when exposed to flame. Knight's Halberd. A spear used by knights and an adept in mounted combat. The spirit is modeled after an axe. Just I think it's weird that, like, because hold on. Because the halberds are counted as spears in this game, you stab and poke with them. So it makes sense that you couldn't like slice a box or anything open. But the halberds also have axes on the side. That's like the whole point of an halberd. It's a spear and an axe. But this game only lets you use it as a spear. So you can't use the axe into the halberd to like break wooden boxes and shit. Like I kind of think like I don't know, maybe if you use to not like complicate the buttons, maybe if you use a charge attack, maybe if you use a regular attack with the halberd, it will attack like a spear like it does. But if you use a charge attack, maybe it could spin instead. Maybe it does do that. I don't know if I ever tried that. But still, I think it's a little bit dumb that you can only use the spear, not the axe. Royal Halberd. This spear was issued to knights who guarded Hyrule Castle's throne room. Its ornate design was applied by craftsmen in service to the royal family. Which, it just struck me. Hinoxes almost always have royal gear on their necks. Does that mean that they basically exclusively eat royal guard members? That's a bit macabre, but okay. Forest Dweller Spear. The Koroks made the spear for Hylians. The shaft is made from a light, sturdy wood, offering ease of use. The spirit is made from a much harder wood, offering strength. That's convenient. Zora Spear. The spear is Zora's weapon of choice. It's lighter than it looks due to being made from a special metal, and is used by Zora for both fishing and protecting their domain. Silver Scale Spear. The most skilled Zora fighters wield the spear. Its beautiful fishtail design belies its impressive strength. The spearhead can pierce even the toughest scales. Ceremonial Trident. A spear modeled after the light-scale trident, wielded by Zora champion Mipha. They may be identical in appearance, but the spear's strength and durability are inferior. Light-scale trident. A spear... Oh, ooh. Hold on, I got another one. Maybe. No. A spear of pierceless gaze, cherished by the Zord champion Mipha. Although Mipha specialized in healing abilities, her spearmanship was in a class of all its own. I do think it's very interesting that these are identical weapons, but with different stats. That's like an interesting choice for the game to do. And I'm not sure why. It like replica for like praise and whatnot, it would make sense that it looks a lot like the original. But like just from like a gameplay design perspective, how did that come up? This idea of having two visually identical but stats different weapons. I wonder where that came from. Drill shaft, not a very good shot. I'm sorry about that. Goron artisans use recycled metal to forge this weapon. The tip is made from an old excavation bore, which offers it unmatched piercing capabilities. Feathered spear. Its lightweight design is a hallmark of Rito craftsmanship. It's made from light and sturdy materials, which afford Rito warriors ease of use during aerial combat. Gerudo spear. The spear's center of gravity is in its tip, making it a bit unwieldy for the average fighter. But in the hands of a skilled Gerudo warrior, it's a weapon of reliable strength. Serpentine spear. The spirit of this weapon is uniquely Shiga in design. Spear masters of the Shiga tribe can use the crescent shape to snag their opponents and deliver brutal cuts. Ancient spear. The spear is the result of countless hours of research into ancient technology used by guardians. The glowing spearhead has high piercing potential. Rusty halberd. A rusty polearm likely used by knights from the age past. The spearhead is in bad shape due to prolonged exposure to the elements, so its durability is low. Ugh. There it was. Royal Guard spear. The Sheikah-made weapon was created using ancient technology to combat the calamity. Its attack power is very high, but a critical design flaw left it with poor durability. It's interesting that both the Rusty and the Royal Guard weapons are included at near the end of the spear list. I'm assuming it's because they both have low durability, but because of the attack power values, I would have made the Rusties the first in the list, and the Royal Guards basically the end. But okay. Flame spear. A magical spear forged in the magma of Death Mountain. Attack when the blade glows to expel powerful flames. Frost spear. A magical spear forged from ancient ice taken from the Heaven Mountains. Attack when the blade glows blue to chill the air and freeze your foe. Thunder spear. A magical spear that contains thunder from the Thunder Plateau in its tip. Not the Hyrule Hills this time, the Thunder Plateau. Okay. Attack when the blade glows with a glowing light to unleash an electrical attack. Maybe this actually is a thing because I never tried this. I kind of wish if you took the colored orbs out of the Thunder Plateau that the thunder would start again. That feels a bit dumb because you don't want it to be thundering and rain. It makes the game harder to traverse and do things in. But having a place of permanent lightning was cool. You can't deny that. I think it's a shame that finishing the quest gets rid of that and takes away the namesake. Boko spear. A spear haphazardly carved from a large tree branch. It looks like its original intent was for skewering meat and cooking it, but it does have some combat merit as well. Spiked Boko spear. A Boko spear enhanced with sharpened animal bones. It's light, easy to use, and deals a decent amount of damage. Dragon Bone Boko spear. This Boko spear has been strengthened with fossilized bones. The bones are positioned outwards so the fangs bite at the opponent. Beware of bokoblins carrying this weapon. I'm assuming that it's not actually a skull and they've just carved it to look like a mouth because that doesn't quite look like a real skull. Moblin spear. Maybe that's how they got the spine look without it actually being a spine too. That could be it. Moblin spear. This wooden spear is most often used by moblins. It's made from a hastily whittled tree, so its stabbing power and durability are both pretty low. Spike Moblin spear. This moblin main spear uses a horned animal bone as the spearhead. Like many moblin weapons, it's sloppily made, but this one packs some more respectable piercing power. I'm not sure if you can see it. You can see it a little bit there in the bottom. But this one you can really see the notches of the branches of the tree. They were just kind of chopped off barely to try and make it straighter, but it didn't really work. Oh yeah, that is an animal skull. It's just facing the wrong way in my picture. It only has one horn though. I think you would have found a skull with both horns still intact, but okay. Dragon Bone Moblin Spear. This spear is a fan favorite among moblins. The spearhead is made from fossilized bones adorned with spikes, which greatly increases its stabbing power. I'm assuming that's why they're a different color in this one, the spikes. This have been added on in post. Lizzle Spear. The brutal ripping edge of this weapon's spearhead is distinctly Lizalfos design. Its low durability doesn't lend itself to extended use. Enhanced Lizzle Spear. Judging by the harpoon-like spearhead of the Lizalfos-made spear, the Lizalfos use it for fishing as well as combat. Try not to get caught on the wrong end of its barbs. Yeah, it is barbed, okay. Forked little spear, not a good picture. Skilled Lizalfos warriors tend to favor this spear. What it lacks in piercing power, it makes up for with brutal wounds its dual ripping blades will inflict. With the brutal wounds. A Guardian Spear. Wielded by Guardian Scouts, the spear has a high piercing power, and is a testament to the Sheikah's high level of technology. The spear appears only when brandished. Guardian Spear Plus. The tip of this Guardian Spear has been enlarged and strengthened. It's a bit shorter than your average spear, perhaps to facilitate use in tight spaces. Guardian Spear Plus Plus. This Guardian Spear's output has been bolstered to the maximum. The spearhead is designed for optimal stabbing, capable of easily piercing most armor. Lionel Spear. The crescent-shaped spearhead of this Lionel-made weapon gives it poor balance, making it difficult to wield. Lionels, however, can swing it effectively with a single hand. Efficiently or effectively? Effectively. Mighty Lionel Spear. The weight and cutting edge of this Lionel-made spear have both been enhanced. It's immensely heavy for a Hylian, but a Lionel can cleave through rock with a single swing. Ooh, that's cool. Savage Lionel Spear. White-haired Lionels favor this brutal spear. Its acts like spearhead and exceptional weight give it its absolute destructive power. Bow of Light. Princess Zelda gave you this bow and arrow for the battle with Dark Beast Ganon. When wielded by the hero, it fires arrows of pure light strong enough to oppose the calamity. Now, I am curious about the damage value, because apparently you can also kill Dark Beast Ganon using general bows of the game and ancient arrows. I'm not sure if it's the same amount of hits to kill him. I'm pretty sure it is. Using ancient arrows can work instead of the Bow of Light. So I wonder whether that 100 damage actually matters at all. I don't know if maybe you can use regular arrows and not ancient arrows, and just do less than the ancient arrows, and you have to deal 100 damage to each point in order to permanently get rid of that weak point, or what the hell the deal is. I know some people managed to bug the game to get this in survival in the base game and not just the Dark Beast fight, and I think their 100 damage bow is gonna be pretty fucking amazing. But still, it's interesting that they even bothered giving it a damage value. Wooden Bow. This wooden bow may not be the most reliable for battling monsters, but it's excellent for hunting small animals. Traveler's Bow. A small bow used by travelers for protection. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. Soldier's Bow. A bow designed for armed conflict. It inflicts more damage than a civilian bow, but it will still burn if it touches fire. Knight's Bow. The sturdy metal construction of this bow offers superior durability, while its lack of firing quirks makes it quite reliable. Once favored by knights at Hyrule Castle. Royal Bow. In the past, the King of Hyrule presented this bow only to the most talented archers in the land. Its combat capabilities are as impressive as its extravagant design. Forest Dweller's Bow. The Corks made this bow for Hylians. It's crafted from flexible wood and uses sturdy vines for the bowstring. Its construction may be simple, but it fires multiple arrows at once. Silver Bow. A bow favored by the Zora for fishing. It doesn't boast the highest firepower, but the special metal it's carved from prioritizes durability. Swallow Bow. This bow is favored among Rito warriors. The bowstring has been specially engineered for aerial combat, which allows it to be drawn faster than a normal bow. Falcon Bow. A highly refined Rito-made bow created by a master Rito craftsman. Rito warriors favor it for its superior rate of fire, which helps them excel even further in aerial combat. Great Eagle Bow. A bow without equal, wielded by Rito champion Revali. It said Revali could loose arrows with the speed of a gale, making him supreme in aerial combat. Now, I didn't use the champion weapons much because I didn't want to break the original copies. I only really ever used Mifa, and then it ran out of Dribbin, and I was like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not going to break it. I'm not going to break any of them from now on. But just looking at the stats, the damage output stats, Daruks and Revalis look like really good weapons for their class. But Urbosa and Mifas are kind of basic and middling. That's roughly what you'd expect from a weapon in that class. So I don't know if there's some quirks to their weapons that I missed, probably high durability or something. But yeah, 28 damage, but it fires 3 arrows at once, and then 60 damage. Great Eagle Bow and Boulder Breaker, pretty fucking good weapons by the looks of things. Golden Bow. This Ceruto-made bow is popular for the fine ornamentations along its limbs. Designed for hunting and warfare alike, this bow was engineered to strike distant targets. Frank Bow. A bow passed down through the Sheikah tribe. Concentrating before drawing the string will allow you to target distant enemies as easily as those nearby. Ancient Bow. This bow is a result of Robbie's research. Sheikah technology affords it a heightened functionality. Arrows fired from it travel in a perfectly straight line. It's not actually perfectly straight. There is a drop off. The drop off is just like super fucking small. Regular arrows drop at 9.8 meters per second, which is like the real life speed that gravity works at. But the ancient bow's arrows drop at like 0.2 meters per second, which is pretty low. Also, it has high damage. Royal Guard's bow. This prototype Sheikah-made bow was designed to fight the Great Calamity. Made with ancient technology, it boasts a high rate of fire and firepower, but has low durability. Boko bow. The basic bokoblin bow made of wood. It's made by taking any tree branch and just tying a string to either end, so don't expect much in the way of combat effectiveness. Spike boko bow. An upgraded boko bow bound with animal bone to boost its durability and firepower. Its craftsmanship is sloppy, but it's light and easy to use. I don't know how that would work. How would strapping bones to, like, just this? Like, it literally is just two spikes strapped to this. How would that make its fire, like, do more damage? Dragon bow and boko bow. A boko bow reinforced by fossils. Bokoblins handpick the materials it's made from, so it boasts respectable firepower. Lizzle bow. A wooden bow created by Lizalfos. Is reinforced by the bones of large fish, a marked improvement over any standard wooden bow. Interesting that the Lizzles use wooden bows when they use metal for their spears and boomerangs. It's kind of interesting. That, like, it's always wooden bone with the bokoblins and moblins, but for the Lizzles they have, like, metal wood? That's weird. Strengthened Lizzle bow. A Lizzle bow with a grip reinforced by metal. Because, see, now this is where metal starts to be added in. They start with bones and then go to metal. Wooden bones is like boko stuff. Metal is like what you'd expect from a Lizzle. A Lizzle bow with a grip reinforced by metal. The body is made from the branches of a flexible tree that grows near water, which offers some serious destructive power. Steel Lizzle bow. This bow is wielded by Lizalfos, who are expert marksmen. The metal that reinforces much of the weapon adds some additional weight, but offers heightened durability. I'm also, like, pretty sure, like, it looks like there's still wood, like, underneath there, and like the basic bow underneath. But at least if I remember correctly, this one doesn't burn when you go to Death Mountain. So that's interesting that the metal protects it, I guess. Lionel bow. A Lionel bow, crafted from rough metal. True to the vicious nature of Lionel weaponry, it fires a spread of multiple arrows at once, ideal for taking down quick-moving targets. It has a bit of a crossbow look to it. I don't think it actually is a crossbow. It looks like you still have to draw it back by hand, but like the end with like the circle pattern, that looks a lot like a crossbow, and like the thick bow arms that are kind of metal attached. So it's not, but it looks it. Mighty Lionel bow. They literally just have their swords of the respective Lionel just, oh my god, they do, just strapped on the end. I think also on the tips of the bow too. That's kind of funny. It works on the tips, but on the front that looks super doofy. This massive Lionel bow supports a bowstring made from metal so tough. Mere Highlands have trouble drawing it back. Savage Lionel bow. This Lionel bow is made from a special steel found at the peak of Death Mountain. It has tremendous stopping power and can pierce thick armor as easily as thin paper. Duplex bow. A bow favored by the skilled archers of the Yiga clan. It's been engineered to fire 2 arrows at once to ensure your target comes to a swift and none too pleasant end. Or halt, rather. Arrow. A common arrow. Its shaft was carved from the wood of a sturdy tree. Fire arrow. An arrow imbued with the power of fire. It breaks apart on impact, igniting objects in the immediate area. It's incredibly effective against cold things. Ice arrow. An arrow imbued with the power of ice. It breaks apart on impact, freezing objects in the immediate area. It's incredibly effective against hot things. Shock arrow. I kind of wish I got a picture of this in the shot, but okay. An arrow imbued with the power of electricity. It breaks apart on impact, channeling electricity into nearby objects. It's incredibly effective against metal or anything wet. Bomb arrow. A powerful arrow designed to destroy monsters. The explosive powder packed into the tip ignites on impact, dealing massive damage to anything caught in the blast. One thing that I kind of wish is that since this game has, like, elemental gems, I wish that, like, I don't know, maybe if you got, like, a tree branch in your inventory and then, like, combined it with, like, a gem, you get, like, 20 of, like, an elemental arrow or something like that. I think that'd be cool. It's a shame that there's, like, no way to use the elemental gems to craft elemental arrows. Or actually, no, they make more sense, you know? Tree branch and flint make, like, 10, 20 arrows, and then combine, like, a few arrows with the gem to make the elemental one. That would make a little bit more sense. But still, that would require you to be able to, like, highlight the tree branch and hold it at the same time as the flint, which you can't do because you can't go to your weapon inventory when you're holding something. So it'd be probably better to just add in, like, a stick item that you can get, and then combine the stick and the flint to make the arrow for like 1 a pop. But then you run into the problem of then the only use for that stick would be crafting arrows, and you can buy arrows, so maybe people wouldn't bother picking up the sticks, and they question why it was in the game. But whatever. Explosive powder packed into the tip ignites on impact. So why doesn't it work in the rain? If it's the impact that like makes the explosion happen, and it's completely contained within the ball on the tip, then the water shouldn't affect it at all. It should still explode. It makes sense if it wouldn't do the fire damage a little by this game's logic, but it should still explode. Ancient arrow. An arrow created using ancient technology. To be struck with one is to be consigned to oblivion in an instant. It deals devastating damage, even against guardians. Oh, additional effects. I haven't been reading those. The ancient arrowhead deals massive damage. That's an understatement. It just sends you to the Shadow Realm. Hylian shield. A shield passed down through the Hylian royal family. Along with the legend of the hero who wielded it. Its defensive capabilities and durability outshine all other shields. There's also just some dude in Terrytown that somehow has an infinite supply of them. Don't know how that happened. Pot lid. The lid of a large soup pot. It smells vaguely of poultry broth. Yum. It can take quite a beating before breaking. Wooden shield. This lightweight. Yeah, okay. I thought for a minute that it said 4, but no, it says 1. I was about to question, wait, the wooden shield is less than a pot lid? Wooden shield. This lightweight, simple shield is ideal for less experienced fighters. Red shields are in the end game now. It can withstand light attacks, but blocking stronger blows is not recommended. Emblazoned shield. God, I can't speak. The shield features a traditional design from the Clutta. Its combat capabilities aren't much better than a standard wooden shield, but it found popularity for its design. Hunter shield, favored by hunters for its rabbit design, which is said to bring luck on hunts. It's easy to use, but its durability leaves something to desired. You know what? Actually, super weird. Weird that this game has the bloopies, which are very rabbit-like. You have the Hunter shield, which has rabbits printed on it, but there's no actual rabbits anywhere in the game. That's odd. That's very strange. They've got code for one because of the bloopy. Fisherman shield, often carried by fishermen for its fish design, which represents hope for a great catch. This light wooden construction makes it convenient to take on a boat. I think we got all these pictures from, well, not that one. That one's from the maze. I think we got a lot of our shield pictures from Selmy's hut. Traveler shield, rip, a sturdy shield loved by many an adventurer. It's made from animal. It's made from animal hide and sturdy wood, and it's best suited for defending against weak monsters or animals. Hunter shield, a shield once used by the guards of Hyrule Castle. It's easy to handle, but its core is made of wood, so it can catch fire. Knight's shield, a shield favored by the knights who served the Hylian royal family. Its sturdy metal and construction makes it quite durable, but its weight requires decent skill to wield. Royal shield, a shield issued to the Hylian royal family's immediate guard detail. It boasts a high defense, but these days it's more of a collector's item due to its ornamentation. Yeah, 55 is pretty high. Forestall shield. The Korok's made the shield specifically for Hylians. It's made from the finest hard wood of trees that grow only in the Korok forest, so it's sturdier than it looks. Silver shield. A Zora-made shield adorned with intricate ornamentation. It's said that true masters of the shield can redirect attacks. Redirect attacks as a rock redirects rushing water. It looks like actually, is that... I cannot tell, honestly, if there's a bit of blue cloth wrapped around the top left, our left, it's right, of the shield, or if it's clipping through the geometry of the level. I cannot tell. Because if it is clipping through the geometry of the level, that's its spawn location. That'd be really weird if it was clipping in its spawn location. Kite shield. Rito warriors cherish the shield. Its unique shape is designed with battle flight in mind to facilitate aerial combat. Gerudo shield. The design of this metal shield has changed over time to match the Gerudo's sword and shield fighting style. It's favored by soldiers and travelers alike. Radiant shield. This extravagant shield is presented to Gerudo warriors who are raised to the rank of champion, or captain. Its apparent opulence is rivaled only by its combat capabilities. Daybreaker. The shield was cherished by the Judo champion Urbosa. The gold used to make it was hand-picked to ensure the design has both lightweight and very durable. And it's very pretty. Almost Aztec a bit. Like, these two do read like Arabic shields to me. This reads more of like Aztec. Which is interesting. Shield of the Mind's Eye. A small Sheikah-made shield. Its design is intended to decrease blind spots without sacrificing too much defense. Oh, yeah. I guess it does. Ancient Shield. The shield is made using ancient Sheikah technology. Its surface glows blue when raised in defense. Enhanced functionality allows it to deflect guardian beams. Actually, you know what? I was complaining that you couldn't get a picture of these lit up with like their full effects. I wonder if you like knocked the weapons out of an enemy's hand and threw your ancient weapons on the ground, would they activate when the enemy picked them? Actually, no, because no, you can't get the picture of a weapon in an enemy's hand. No, that wouldn't work. Never mind. It would just take a picture of the enemy. Rusty Shield. It's likely that this rusty old shield once belonged to a knight. It still has some defensive capabilities, but its usefulness has been worn down by time. Royal Guard Shield. The shield was forged using ancient Sheikah technology. It boasts extremely high stopping power, but its structural weakness made its low durability impractical for combat. It says ancient Sheikah technology, but ancient isn't capitalized. Is that how you know it's like ancient as in 100 years ago instead of ancient as in 10,000 years ago? Is that what's supposed to happen, or did they recover the ancient technology from 10,000 years ago and use it to make these Royal Guard weapons? I don't know. Boko Shield. A Bokapa-made shield created by attaching a handhold to any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy, so don't expect it to last very long. Spike Boko Shield. A Boko Shield made from slightly stronger wood and reinforced with animal bones. Dragon Bone Boko Shield. This Boko Shield is reinforced with fossilized bone. Its defensive capabilities are respectable, but its a predictably slipshod craftsmanship spells low durability. Read that this one mentions low durability, but this one doesn't. Lizzle Shield. A common shield found among the Lizalfos. It's made of metal, but its sloppy craftsmanship offers poor durability. It is a little sloppy. It's a little bit chipped and bumpy. Reinforced Little Shield. Now this is more of like what you want in Lizzles. This Little Shield has been strengthened by adding a different type of metal to the mix. The edge is lined with spikes, so you handle with care. Steel Lizzle Shield. This Lizzle Shield is adorned with several metal shells as a means of reinforcement. Its defensive capabilities are high, but its weight requires a skilled soldier to bear. Also, if I'm remembering right from the stats video, apparently with these two shields, no effect on shield surfing. I'd expect all the spikes to slow you down or consume more durability of the shield or something with shield surfing, but no, it doesn't do anything. Guardian Shield. A shield made with ancient Sheikah technology. It can deflect a Guardian Scout's beam. Guardian Shield Plus. This larger version of a Guardian Shield has had its output level boost. Its defensive capabilities are comparable to those of metal shields. Guardian Shield Plus Plus. The output level of the shield has been boosted to maximum. Its combat capabilities surpass those of metallic shields, and it can deflect Guardian Scout beams. Lionel Shield. A sturdy shield favored by Lionels for its defensive and offensive capabilities. First and foremost a shield, but the bladed edges can deal slashing damage from deflecting. It's weird that the Lizzle ones don't do that, question mark? Maybe they do. Mighty Lionel Shield. This Lionel-made shield has been reinforced with armor and even more blades. Stronger in both defense and offense, it can tear through basic armor when deflecting. Savage Lionel Shield, which is basically just this 1 foot gold. Oh, it does have a few extra spikes, though. It's not symmetrical anymore. Well, no, I guess the one isn't because it only has chains on 2 ends. Yeah, never mind. This Ultimate Lionel Shield is Savage Lionel Shield. This Ultimate Lionel Shield is only used by the white-haired Lionels. It excels at defending against even the most brutal attacks and cutting down powerful foes when deflecting. Okay, it's weird that they don't mention that these ones are exclusive to red and these ones are exclusive to blue. But they explicitly call it these ones are usually favored by whites and the other ones. But this one is just that it's exclusively used by the whites. But the silver and the gold ones use these ones too. What the heck? What the heck, game? Lion. You're lying to me about the Lionels. Oh, we're in the end game now. Treasure chest. Fortunes untold, potentially, await to the lucky adventurer who finds one of these. Chests can often be found within shrines or at enemy camps. But there may be some crafty folks out who think they are safer underground. There may be some crafty folks who think they're safer under... Oh, yeah, because they bury their chests. Ore deposit. This deposit contains a good deal of ore. Breaking the rock will yield rock, salt, flint, and other ore and minerals of varying value. Can't get rare ore deposit. This deposit contains a good deal of precious ore and the occasional rare mineral, like ruby and sapphire. Break it open to see what it has to offer. There's 2 things missing. This is missing both. Okay. Rare deposit is missing rock salt, which makes sense, but it's also missing opals, which is weird because opals, at least as far as I know, are rarer than amber. You think amber would be the one to get cut if you were going to cut both amber and opal. That's weird. Luminous stone deposit. This deposit contains quite a bit of luminous stone. Crack it open to get at the easily processed rocks within. Okay. Well, that's all the Hyrule Compendium entries. Yeah, this one did take about an hour, like the previous ones. Part with the weapons, I was like, we're only at 30 minutes. Maybe we'll get done fast. But no, yeah, it did take a whole hour. So I'm kind of glad I split those ones up. There's a few other things that I want to do in this game, but we'll be saving those for later streams. They're all going to be reminiscing stuff, but I wanted to get through the compendium. Most of the entries I think we've read before, especially with like the weapons, because we read them when we pick them up. But yeah, I just want to double check if there's any like cool lore I was missing. But thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.